welcome to this jazz guitar video lesson. In today's lesson I'd like to show you how you can use quartal harmony over a minor 7th chord. This lesson is a follow-up to my previous lesson, which explains the basics of quartal harmony. It explains how it's formed and organised on the guitar neck. We talk about how we can organise the chords on strings 1, 2, 3 and 4, 2, 3, 4 and 5, how we can play them as 3-note voicings, as 4-note voicings, use them over a major chord in a 2-5-1. So I really recommend that you go ahead and watch that first if you haven't done it already. There should be a link that comes up just here that will take you to that if you need to catch up. And once you've caught up on that, I recommend playing this lesson, because in today's lesson we're going to be discussing quartal harmony against the minor 7th chord. On the intro video you heard me play Mr. PC kind of as a solo jazz guitar chord melody, and I was pretty much using only quartal voicings for that little intro there. And that progression is a minor blues chord progression. It starts with D minor for 4 bars, or basically D minor, and the tune's in C minor originally, but I transposed it to D minor just because I could show you it with the up and D string to kind of help the sound more. And to harmonise that entire melody I used quartal voicings. It went to G minor, I used minor quartal voicings. There's various ways in which you can harmonise that melody. I might make a video about that in itself, but just for the purpose of today's lesson I kind of did that to demonstrate how you can use these quartal voicings over kind of some more standard repertoire, things that aren't modal, but we do deal with that as well. So without further ado, let's get zoomed in and check out how to use quartal voicings over a minor 7th chord. I hope you enjoy the lesson. First episode of this quartal voicings lesson series, we looked at how quartal voicings would work, or kind of wouldn't work, over a 1 chord, over the C major 7 chord. In this lesson I'd like to talk about how they can work over the 2 chord, which in the key of C is D minor there. So just like with a 1 chord, there's some voicings that will work and some voicings that won't work over this 2 chord. However, when you're using these over a 2 chord, over a tune like So What or Impressions, they'll sound, even some of them like this one for example, at a glance might not have anything to do with a D minor 7, but because all the chord voicings are moving in fourths together, it creates a certain sound and a mood that is effective, even though some of them are very harmonically vague and may not appear to have much to do with D minor at all. They will work in conjunction with some of the other ones, which you'll be able to see on the demonstration video of me comping over So What, how they work just fine and they create a certain mood. With that in mind, it's also important to consider that they won't work over functional harmony situations as well. So like this voicing we looked at in the first video, that works great over a C major chord, but over a D minor 7 chord, that's not really going to work too well in a 2-5-1 situation. So that's something to bear in mind. There are some of them that will, like this one for example is a great chord voicing, and you can play that in a 2-5-1 and it'll work just fine. So you can kind of experiment with some of them. It's also worth knowing that some of them will work very well as a 1 chord in their own right, like this one for example works really well as a D minor 6 chord, because we have the B. We don't have no 7th there, but it has a B natural, which has a much stronger sound as a 1 chord than what, say, a D minor 7 would. There's a D minor 7, that's a 1 chord, but a D minor 6 constructed in quartal voicings has a much more stronger sound when you hear it resolve. For example, if I do a 2-5 in D minor to a 1 chord, which is a minor 7, it doesn't really sound like it's resolved, at least to my ears. But if I do a 2-5 to a quarter D minor 6, it sounds a lot more stable, at least to my ears anyway. However, you know, if you want to look at what jazz greats have done, Wes Montgomery recorded a great standard by Jerome Kern called Yesterdays on his early organ trio record, and what he did, that tune, for those that don't know it, is basically a 1 to a 2-5 in D minor. You know, the melody's just... And what Wes did, instead of playing a D minor 7 chord there, he used that chord voicing. So that's one example of how that chordal voicing can be used in action right there over a song that starts on a minor 7 chord. It works particularly well to be able to do that there. You know, if you want to take this, you know, these modal chords over D minor further, Yesterdays is a great tune to kind of practice them on, because you can start, you know, the chord. If you're playing this song as a chord melody, you can use that as a first chord. Then you can do the 2-5 with more conventional drop 2 and shell voicings. Maybe one of those fancy chords. And then there's a passage after that goes up a D scale with a flattened fifth. And if you're playing this song as a ballad, obviously it makes a lot of sense to use quartal voicings to harmonise that. There's that A flat note there, you know, but you can just use a quartal voicing again, it will sound just fine. So they're very effective to use in that kind of situation, over a tune that's predominantly in a minor key, especially if you've got a line like that that's going up a scale. You know, the drop 2 chord voicings only cover the arpeggio notes, and quartal voicings cover, you know, most of the degrees of the scale. We had the flat 5 there, but we just used that same quartal shape, moved up a half step, and it sounded just fine there. Thank you for checking out this jazz guitar video lesson. I hope you found it useful. I recommend practicing these quartal voicings over modal situations at first, just to get them under your fingers. As I say in the lesson, it's really good to try and fit these in standard repertoire. Tunes that, you know, are based around a minor tonality, even if the melody doesn't have, you know, a passage that requires quartal voicings, you can always find a way to use them in your chord solos. So if you did enjoy this lesson, please click the like button below to help support the channel, and if you subscribe to this channel you'll get free access to all the future jazz and blues guitar lessons that I post. Thanks again for checking the lesson out, and I hope to see you next time.